Tim Aitken and Lucy Robertshaw breed sire stags for Feedlot venison. For 3 years, they were New Zealand Dairy Farmers' focus farm for the Lower North Island. In 2010, they won the Silver Fern Farms Hawke's Bay Farmer of the Year, and in 2012, Tim and Lucy won an international farming award run by British company Marks & Spencer.
We've got 316 hectares here, of which 290 are effective. The rest is totara trees, wetlands, stuff like that. We run 600 breeding hinds that we AI of that, 400 of them, and the rest are naturally mated. And we produce all the progeny for Feedlot, so the stags are killed, well, what stags we don't sell live are killed, and the hinds we sell to Feedlot breeders. We've got 200 bulls on, 100 of each year. They are my risk management tool, so if it starts getting dry or the feed starts to disappear, they're the first stock that go.
Hey, get out of it!
We've looked at the farm and realised the limitations of size and started to try and produce more product on the area instead of going to buy more land, trying to increase our profitability within the farm gate. And that's regrassing, classes of stock we have, breeding programs we've got, and being part of Feedlot. But they've been, the strength here is we're in the Tico area, so technically we're summer safe. So that's why it's a deer block. The weaknesses on this property are that it's southerly facing and it can be very wet and cold over the winter. But with the deer and the feed curve, that sort of fits in nicely with it all. I think one of our biggest weaknesses originally was that we were supplying a market that was consuming our product 3 months of the year but supplying it 12 months of the year. And that was a huge risk, but now with Feedlot, we're supplying 12 months of the year and it's taken that risk out.
Tim and Lucy are one of 25 farmer shareholders in Feedlot venison. Essentially, the farmers share their product and we sell their product on their behalf around the world. We're all aware of the farmers' market, the movement for consumers to get close to where their product comes from. And so the idea was to find the best global customers and link them with farmers who are doing a great job and who really have attachment with their product, love their product. So it's an idea of taking the farmers' market global, so to speak.
This one here, 57.
The farmers get full transparency to where their product's going, so they know exactly what's going on. But ultimately, because we're selling to an end user as opposed to an importer or a distributor, price certainty and price stability is the aim. So if we look over the 7 years that we've been in business, the price pretty much has been the same, plus or minus 10%, as opposed to some of the big variations that's occurred in the dairy industry.
55. And the tail was 2.
Tim and Lucy's win is a great opportunity for the company because it gives, through the website and through the win, it gives a face to the 25 farmers. So up until now, we've been known as the supplier of the product behind Marks & Spencer's venison. But now with Tim and Lucy's win, we can use that linkage to help sell the product, to help farmers or consumers in the UK understand the farming end.
Word, mate. Word. 56. We've just been measuring the length of the eye muscle, and then we've got another guy here that does the ultrasound, and so he gets the depth and the mass of the eye muscle, so he looks at the whole width of it, and then hopefully when we go into the plant and we actually start looking at the killed carcass, we can actually correlate whether these animals, some animals got bigger ones or smaller eye muscles, because that's where a lot of the value of the carcass is. We've also been looking at tails. 58. 2. In Asia, through Hong Kong and that, they dry the tails and it goes into Chinese medicine, Korean medicine. So the values there can go from $5 a tail for the small ones up to $100 plus for a good tail. So we just see whether we could add value. I believe that the co-products are going to be worth as much as the carcass at some stage if we can do the homework and get them into China and the Asian countries that have been using the co-products of deer now for thousands of years for oriental medicine. We're doing a lot of trials here at the moment of the live animals, and then we'll go into the plant as we slaughter some of these animals, because in First Light we get paid for venison in the box, not what hangs on a hook. Originally I was buying genetics from Yugoslavian type deer, which is genetics from a local breeder down here, and now we do a lot of our buying through deer improvement, and that's all AI. So we do 400 hinds a year in AI program, and then the first and second faunas we do natural mating. As the breeder of sire stags, so we breed those and then we select them in September as rising 2-year-olds, and we'll select them on a number of traits. So we'll select the top 100 of those, and then the rest of them we'll slaughter. And when we slaughter those ones, and those are the ones we do a lot of the work on to see what we're measuring live, is that correlating to the dead carcass. The focus farm was set up to the deer industry to show what can be achieved, not to take a farm and take it up to the top, but to show people, what can be achieved on farms. I learned probably just as much being the focus farmer from other people coming here than probably we gave to them. So I haven't changed a lot here, but I've just critiqued a lot of things we're doing. One of the classic ones is long grass farming now. We try and keep our covers at 1200 or better all year round. So when it gets dry, we've still got the cover, the grass comes away much quicker. I think last year was the big eye-opener for me that we had such a good year. We had the grass growth and the deer did so well that I'm realising that we're not feeding them properly. And when I think about it, that we had 110 kilo hind, now we've got 130 kilo hinds, but I'm still running the same numbers. So we're actually running more venison live weight on the hectare, and realising that if we want to get this performance, we're going to have to drop our numbers. So still produce just as much venison, but from less animals.
This wetland's been developed to offset a feedlot we've got higher up in the hills, and it's part of the filtration system to offset the runoff from that. We've got about 5 hectares fenced off here. We've planted about 1,000 trees, and it's slowly starting to transform into something really lovely. The regional council has fronted up with $20,000 to help us develop this, and that's been most gratefully received, and we've made absolutely the most out of that. We want to leave the property in a better shape than what we found it. We want our water to leave the property in as good a quality as we can get it to. We want our animals to live in a wonderful environment where it's it's nice for them to be, it's peaceful, and we're passionate about bird life as well. It's just the whole deal.
This program was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.